Değerli izleyicilerimiz, yayınımıza hoş geldiniz. Yeni bir yayına birlikte olmaktan onur duyuyoruz. Kafkas Dernekleri Federasyonu YouTube kanalında 21 Şubat Dünya Anadili Günü sebebiyle yapacağımız yayına başlıyoruz. Bugünkü konuğumuz çok uzaklardan. İspanya'da Bask bölgesinden bir gazeteci. Luistxo FERNANDEZ. Kendisi aynı zamanda Bask dilinin, çoğu Basklı gibi, Bask dilinde yılmaz bir savaşçısı, Bask dilinin sonsuza kadar yaşaması için mücadele eden önemli bir dil aşığı. Basklar biz Çerkesler için veya Bazarlar için kendimize çok yakın bulduğumuz, hatta bilimsel bir temele dayanmasa bile kendimize kardeş olarak kabul ettiğimiz bir halk. Avrupa'da yüzlerce yıldan beri izole bir şekilde yaşayan, yüzlerce yıldan beri konuşulan, Avrupa'nın en eski dillerinden birine sahip olan Basklar bu dillerini korumak için büyük mücadele veriyorlar. Onlar da aynı bizler gibi, diasporada yaşayan bizler gibi dillerini korumak için çok çabaladılar ve bazı başarılar da elde ettiler. Bugün yayınımıza konuk etmemizin sebeplerinden bir tanesi de bu. Dillerini tüm halklar gibi çok seviyorlar. Ve o kadar ki ülkelerin adı dahi dilleriyle ilgili. Özkalherya diyorlar. Yani Bask dilinin ülkesi. Ne kadar güzel değil mi? Çok anlamlı bir isim. Özkalherya. Bugün Bask diline ve Baskların gayretlerine bakarak kendimizi de sorgulayacağımız bir yayın yapacağız. Belki bizlere de ışık tutar ve son zamanlarda ana dillerini yaşatmak için, geliştirmek için, gençler arasında konuşulur kılmak için yaptıkları çalışmalar, edindikleri başarılar belki bizlere de yol gösterici olur. Bunu nasıl yaptıklarını soracağız. Kendimize belki dersler çıkaracağız ve onlardan ilham alacağız. Şimdi misafirimizi yayınımıza alalım. Sayın Fernandez, öncelikle kendiniz hakkında, aileniz, çocukluğunuz, eğitiminiz ve yaptığınız işler hakkında bilgi verir misiniz? Bask dilini ne zaman ve nasıl öğrendiniz?
Well, my name is Luistxo Fernandez. I am 58 years old, and I am a native Basque speaker. I mean, I learned Basque in the family. I was raised in a Basque-speaking family. My parents were Basque-speaking. Me and my siblings at home, we spoke Basque, and I have always spoken Basque. I have been married 2 times with Basque ladies, and it's been my family language. The children I have raised, they are Basque too. And my education, I began in a primary Basque school, which was not official, but was at the time still a nascent movement that was paid by parents that were very conscious of the to fund these schools. And I did primary school there, but secondary school at the time there wasn't in Basque in my town, in my hometown. Then at the university, I had they were already introducing Basque courses in the career that I took. I learned, I trained as a journalist in the university, and I began working as a journalist in the 1990s. But in the last 25 years, I have worked more related to technology, to the internet. Me and some friends, at the beginning, we were 3 friends of us. In the year 2000, we founded a company to work in the internet, not just in Basque, but also Basque language related technology. And that's what I have done in the last 25 years.
Thank you. Basklar kimlerdir? Bugün topraklarında otokton bir halk mı? Yoksa göçmen bir halk mı? Sonradan gelmişlerse ne zaman, nasıl gelmişler? Bask bölgesinin ve Bask halkının tarihi, dili ve kültür hakkında kısaca bize bilgi verir misiniz?
Okay, well, the Basques, we are yes, we are an autochthonous people. As far back in time that we can look, we have lived here in this corner of Europe, in the Pyrenees Mountains between what is now France and Spain, and that's our native country. We were a majority population until not much time ago, until the 19th century, perhaps, but now the French speakers and Spanish speakers are a majority in the Basque country. So our language has become minoritized, but still we hold to our language. There are probably about 800,000 Basque speakers, which in absolute terms, it's a lot. 500 years ago, there were not so many Basque speakers, but we are 800,000 speakers, which in the totality of the Basque country, a 3 million people country, it's a minority. It's less than 30%. So there are perhaps some towns where Basque speakers are in a majority, but in any case, all Basque speakers speak the majority language as well, be it French or Spanish. And well, we have arrived until the 21st century, and we are still here.
2003tik ahotsa jasotzen dihar dugu. Ez da itsasen galdu. Herririk herri, edadeko andra gizonan kontu ebatzen. Eta grabazio zaharrak berreskuratzen.
Euskal Herri osoko berbetak jasotzen, gero aztertu ahal izateko.
Gure historia ezagutzeko eta gogoratzeko. Zutonduan ikesan transmisioa.
Bask bölgesinin 1979 yılında Özerk statü kazandığını biliyoruz. Bu tarih öncesi ve sonrasında Anadolu'nun durumunu karşılaştırabilir misiniz? Bask Özerk bölgesi ve Navarre'de Bask dilinin statüsü nedir? Okullarda Bask dilindeki eğitim hangi düzeylerde yapılıyor? Herhangi bir kısıtlama var mı?
After the end of the Francoist dictature in Spain, Spain entered in some sort of democracy, and regional autonomies have been established. There is one which has the name of Basque Autonomous Region, and that's where I live. But there is another Basque region, Navarre, which is also a Basque region, that it's another regional autonomy. And then there is the French part of the Basque country where there is no autonomy. And so the language is official in a theoretical same level as Spanish in the Basque Autonomous Region, but in Navarre has a lesser status, and in France has no officialdom at all. So the Basque language has thrived more in the Basque Autonomous Region, and it has even regained some areas where Basque was lost, but now there are new speakers there because the education system in this Basque Autonomous Region has been renewed with paying attention to instruction in Basque. However, there are more restrictions in Navarre and even more in France, where there is no official right to address to the administration in Basque, for instance. And also, it's not we have some legal rights, but they are not always respected.
Historia ezagutzeko eta gogoratzeko. Zutonduan ikizan transmisioa ikasgelara eruatuko. Eta sarien bitxartez, mundu zabalduteko.
Libre, doain eta guzien eskura.
Auzolanean! Gure arbasuen mouan!
Bask Özerk bölgesi ve İspanya, Fransa hükümetlerinin eğitim, ana dili politikalarını nasıl değerlendiriyorsunuz?
Well, I have spoke this a little bit about this. The situation in France is France is a country that is very suppressive of languages that are not French. In Spain, the Basque Autonomous region has better policies, at least in a legal way, than in a theoretical way. But in the practical side, that there are difficulties, and I would say that it's not there is not a big push to politically advance the language as the laws should imply. Also, it depends on the political side. There are Basque nationalist parties and parties that align with Spain or France, which are directed by Madrid or Paris. And as long as the Basque local nationalist parties are in power in some institution or the other, there are more chances to see policies in favor of the Basque language. But if Paris or Madrid guided parties are in local administration positions, in local governments, they are not so kind to our language. That's true.
Thank you. Bask ve Özerk bölgesinde son 30 yıldır ana dilin konuşulma oranının arttığını görüyoruz. Örneğin Bask dilinin konuşma oranı 1991 yılında %30'dan 2021 yılında %43'e çıkmış. Ayrıca çocuklarda ana dilini konuşma oranı yetişkinlerden çok daha yüksek bir hal alıyor. Bu veriler ana dilini yaşatma konusunda çok başarılı olduğunuzu göstermekte. Basklılar bunu nasıl başardı?
Well, in the education system in the Basque Autonomous Region has produced many new speakers of Basque among students that do not come from Basque-speaking families. So the proportion of knowledge about among Basque young people has increased, but that's not really related. Knowledge has grown, but usage, the daily usage of the language, not so much, and also the quality of the language that young people has learned. Well, they have learned in the school, but if they don't have opportunity to continue speaking Basque in the families or in the streets, which is not that easy, then the usage and knowledge of the language may rust a little bit. They get worse. So it's in a balance. Of course, we are happy that younger speakers learn Basque in the schools, but it's not a recipe for ensured success. Not at all. It's a complicated thing. I'm happy with that, but it's not an insurance for the future, I would say.
Euskal Herria herri zar bat da, herri zarrenen neurriko, milaka urteko hizkuntza bat du, bere bihotzean tinko. Inoiz zalantza izaten dugu, gero ez aldan biziko, baina kantatzen duen herri bat.
Bask halkının dillerine verdiği önem nedir? Ana dillerini öğrenmeye, çocuklarına ana dillerini öğretmeye dair nasıl yöntemler izliyorlar Basklılar?
I think that the Basque language has survived through a very difficult 20th century, because we feel Basque speakers, at least until now, have been very attached culturally to the language. The Basque native word for a Basque person, like me, is Euskaldun, which means someone who possesses the Basque language. So the basis for, I would say, ethnicity or of national identity is mainly the language factor for many of us Basques. So that attachment has been the key for maintaining. Now, in the schools, instruction is taught generally in Basque, not just Basque as a subject, but every subject, mathematics or physics or natural sciences. Subjects are taught in Basque, so at least in some of the school models, but I'm not sure if that also transmits this sense of cultural attachment. It may become in some schools just the language of the teachers or of the subjects, but not in a sense that you feel attached to the cultural and national sense that others have, perhaps another generation have received around the Basque language.
Bugün Meksika, Arjantin ve Amerika Birleşik Devletleri topraklarında yaşayan Bask diasporası olduğunu görüyoruz. Bu diasporalar nasıl, ne zaman ve neden oluştu?
In the Americas, the peopling of America was made by Spanish mainly, and Basques Basque conquistadors also, and others went to America. But the more recent, the diasporas in these countries that you mentioned, Argentina, Mexico, and the US, perhaps the biggest groups are there, are for the late 19th century and probably the first half of the 20th century. They have many of the people that emigrated in the 20th century have formed diaspora groups, cultural houses or cultural centers in the main cities, in Buenos Aires, in New York, other cities of the US, also Mexico City and other cities of Mexico, and they are culturally attached to the Basque country nowadays. They are strongly. I think they form strong communities, and in some of those places there are Basque speakers probably, and it's usual also that these Basque centers teach the language to people of the Basque community and others, because there's no problem for someone with any origin learning Basque, as long as someone speaks Basque, is Basque as I am.
Txalupa zahar bat bere zulo eta guzi, ikusi eta badaukagu zer ikasi. Gero aldian ere nahi badugu bizi, zer izan ginen jakin behar da lehenbizi.
We always try to create awareness about our activities, and we said, well, let's get in touch with a bertsolari. It's like improvised poetry.
Kontatzen badakienez nago seguru,
jo nau beti izan da nahiko txoriburu. Ze bero ta ze Kristo ondo pasa dugu. Ze bero ta ze Kristo ondo pasa dugu.
The storytellers, the bertsolaris, will talk about any subject under very strict rules of rhythm and metrics. You know, it goes back and forth. You know, one bertsolari, he says something, and then the other one, you know, will answer to him right away. It is very, very popular.
Thank you. Bask dilinin özellikleri, bugünkü Bask bölgesinde ve diasporadaki durumu hakkında bilgi verebilir misiniz? Baskların yaşadığı diasporalarda ana dillerinin durumu ne düzeydedir? Diasporada Bask kültürünün korunması için İspanya'nın ve Bask bölgesinin bir politikası ve desteği var mı?
Okay, as I mentioned, there are Basque language courses, and I think that there is an attachment in cultural ties between these diaspora communities and the Basque country, but it's not thanks to the Spanish government. For the Spanish government, they are absolutely foreigners, I would say, these people. But the Basque Autonomous Region government has a policy of making links with these communities, and there is also young people from those groups coming from time to time to this group now, other groups other times, coming to the Basque country. They get help to immerse sometimes in Basque culture and learn more Basque in the Basque country if they have begun their courses in diaspora centers. And in numbers, the Basque diaspora is small as compared to the Basque motherland. I think it's different with the Circassian people, but I think that culturally and it's important that we have those communities in the Americas. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Bask sivil toplum kuruluşları ilgili bize bilgi verebilir misiniz? Mesela birbirleriyle çelişen toplumlar, kuruluşlar var mı? Toplumsal uzlaşma sağlanabiliyor mu milli konularda?
The Basque civil society is very active. There are many groups, some focused on language, others focused in other things, but which are related to language. Maybe sports associations, but that do work in the Basque language, or dancing groups that do their teaching and their folklore events in the Basque language, and also in the political level, there are. I have told you before that the Basque nationalist parties seem more attached to the language issues, but there are differences among them. There has been a long conflict since the end of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century, where an armed group labeled as a terrorist by Spain, its name was ETA, carried on an armed struggle against objectives that they deemed political, but well, this somehow, hopefully, I think, ended 12 years ago. There are still people in prisons related to crimes and killings that did happen in this phase. But I think that we are in another peaceful phase now. That is also better for the language, because in that period of the armed struggle, there has been a connection made about the Basque language and violence, and it wasn't that. Basque people were also against these violent groups, but now I think we are in a more stable position, more peaceful, and in order to defend and promote the Basque language.
Thank you. 1996 yılında sizinle yapılan ilk söyleşide Euskaldunon Egunkaria gazetesinde çalışıyordunuz. Egunkaria o zaman sanıyorum Baskça yayınlanan dünyadaki tek gazeteydi. Euskaldunon Egunkaria yayınlanmaya devam ediyor mu? Egunkaria Baskçanın korunması ve yaşatılması açısından nasıl bir katkıda bulundu Bask diline ve şu anda Baskça yayınlanan başka gazeteler var mı?
Yes, I worked in that newspaper because I was a journalist at the time, but then I changed my job, and I have worked in the internet. I think I have answered that in the first question. Well, Euskaldunon Egunkaria, it was a very important project. It was created in the 90s, but in the year 2003, the Spanish authorities closed it one day to another. They accused the newspaper of being complicit in the terrorist activities of that armed group, ETA, and there was a long process of 6 years in the tribunals, and at the end, all people of Egunkaria was acquitted because it was a fabrication. It was a political move by the Spanish government to pressure the Basque political parties, and that newspaper was closed in a move against the Basque language. That's how I would describe it. But then another people mobilized and created another newspaper, which has been it's 21 years since it was created. This a newspaper. It's called Berria, which means the new one, and it's the only one daily newspaper. But the Basque media environment is quite rich. We have one public television channel and some small local channels that work in Basque, and quite a strong local magazine network, and all this, the newspaper, the TV, the magazines, they all have also an internet daily presence. And only one newspaper, but the media landscape, it's not the bad position. The language is quite well positioned, in my opinion, in the media landscape.
Siz Bask dilinin gelişmesi için özellikle internet gibi teknolojilerin kullanılmasına önemli çalışmalar da yaptınız. Bunları biliyoruz. Bu çalışmalarınız konusunda bilgi verir misiniz? Yeni teknolojiler azınlık dillerinin korunması ve yaşatılması açısından ne gibi fırsatlar veya tehditler içermektedir?
Yes, I do think that internet and technology are important for the Basque language and for all languages. In the case of Basque, me personally, I have dedicated a lot of work in this realm as in a company, but there are also volunteers doing the different things in the volunteers organizations like media organizations, other companies that are creating software, activist groups. For instance, the Wikipedia movement in the Basque language is quite strong. And I think it's obvious that languages, in order to survive or have options to survive in the 21st century, they need to be attached. Some of these developments are also the developments of the Basque language in the technologies. They are not a gift from heaven. It's because people has worked hard on it. And there's also a great consciousness, at least at some levels, that the other people won't do those things for us, but that Basque activists and Basque scholars must do these things. For instance, in the realm of automatic translation, machine translation, Google Translate works quite fine with Basque. You may take an English text and get a Basque translation, or the other way. But Basque university scholars and investigators have created better machine translation systems in Basque related to the Spanish, French, and English language, and they are very good developments. We have clever people working in technology and in the university.
İspanya'daki ve dünyadaki başka azınlıklarla ilişkiler kuruyor musunuz? Diğer azınlık toplumlarıyla ortak çalışmalar yaptığınız oldu mu? Yapıyor musunuz?
Yes, there is a relationship with other minority languages in Spain, mainly with the Catalan community, but they have a much stronger position than Basque. They are 10 times more Catalan speakers than Basque speakers, and their administration and media landscape and also commercial landscape is much more Catalan there than it is Basque in the Basque country. But of course, we look them to the Catalans with envy, but we do collaborate with them.
Evet. Çerkesler aslında Bask halkının Kafkasya halklarıyla ilişkili olduklarına dair yaygın bir görüş var. Hem bu nedenle hem de Bask halkının dil, kültür ve kimliği yaşatma konusundaki mücadelesinden dolayı Çerkeslerin Bask halkını kendilerine yakın gördüklerini çok açık olarak söyleyebiliriz. Sizlerin böyle bir yaklaşımı, böyle bir inancı var mı? Bask ülkesinden bakıldığında Çerkesler nasıl görünüyor sizler için?
I know of this connection between the Caucasus peoples and the Basque people. It has been because our languages in the context of the whole of Europe are very different from what is the Slavic languages or the Roman languages. Our languages are very different from those. but scholars have reached, at least the Basque scholars have reached the conclusion that Basque is an isolated language. They have compared Basque with this, with that, and no relationships appear nowhere. There are some connections with ancient Aquitanian texts, which where it's a language very little attested in what was Gallia, France. But the connections with the Caucasian languages have not been attested, really. It happens, apparently, I am not a linguist, it happens apparently that some features of the Basque language, which are different from European languages, the ergative construction, for instance, do happen in the northeast Caucasian languages, in the Circassian language, and also in Georgian and other languages of the Caucasus. But this seems to be a typological proximity, not a real family like other families of languages may create. How we look at the Caucasus from here, I must be honest, there is not much consciousness and knowledge about the native peoples of the Caucasus. These relationships about languages has been slightly more well known as related to the Georgian languages and the Georgian nation. And much less, I am afraid, with the Circassian people, the Adige, Kabarda, and Cherkes people of the North Caucasus, or the Circassian diasporas like the one in Turkey, and the knowledge about about these your peoples in the Basque Country. I'm sorry to say, is quite limited.
Çerkesçe diasporada da yok olma tehlikesi altında yaşayan bir dil. Kendi tecrübelerinize dayanarak Türkiye diasporasında yaşayan Çerkeslere ne gibi önerilerde bulunursunuz?
One of the things that I think I have explained in the previous questions is that a key question for the survival of Basque has been the cultural attachment. Speaking Basque is more important than other features of identity. And if the national or ethnic identity is attached to somehow, you make it important that language is a sign of identity, it's a sign of endurance, it's a sign of getting your people from the past to the future, and that if you attach the language component to that, there's more chances that people may stick to the language. I think that working on a consciousness of language as being integral to the identity of the people is a key issue in the Basque Country. It still is, and I don't know, but perhaps it could be for the Circassians.
Bu söyleşi için size çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Eskerik Atsko. Diasporadaki Çerkeslere iletmek istediğiniz bir mesajınız var mı?
Thank you very much. I feel very honored that in the day of the Mother Tongue you have chosen such a distant community, such a distant language, and personally me as one modest representative of this community to explain some things about our community to you. But sorry, I cannot tell you Eskerrik asko in the Cherkes language. How is it? Thank you.
You say Tashuwapso.
Hakuyo Watso.
Taha.
Daha.
Şu.
Daha.
Wapso.
Oh, many consonants in your language. Many consonants in your language. Bask very easy. Bask very easy, in my opinion. Okay. So thank you for this opportunity.
Bugün içinde yaşadığımız ülkeyi ve tüm dünyayı bir diller cennetine çevirebiliriz. Çevirmek gerekiyor. Her bir dil, her ana dili sonsuza kadar yaşamayı hak ediyor. Her bir dilin dünya için, insanlık için farklı bir bakış açısı, başka bir renk, başka bir zenginlik olduğunu tekrar hatırlatmak istiyoruz. Bu yayın vesilesiyle Kafkasya Anadili Federasyonu Yönetim Kurulu ve KAFFED Dil Komisyonu olarak dünyanın tüm dillerinin ve Çerkeslerin ve dahi tüm Kafkasyalıların dillerinin Dünya Anadili Günü'nü kutluyoruz. Yayınımıza katıldığınız için sizleri yönetim kurulu üyeleri, arkadaşlarım adına sevgiyle, saygıyla selamlıyorum. İyi akşamlar diliyorum.